for the fourth quarter of 2017. There was a slight dip in the fourth quarter. But in an interview with the Director of Statistics on Wednesday, there are two things of note which I'd love your thoughts on. Number one, he said that the services and food services sector and the hotel sector has seen the highest employment that it's ever seen, ever. Now, of course, he attributed it to the new developments, which I remember was negotiated by the previous government. But is that necessarily a good thing? Because there are critics of continuous employment in the hotel sector. It's not that it's not sustainable, but they believe that our people can do better than that, number one. And he also noted that underemployment, they saw a dip in underemployment, which is a good thing, and he hope it's continuing. But he believes that there should be an intense focus on technical vocational training and certification. And he spoke about a tripod effect, which involves key stakeholders in ministries, like education and, of course, infrastructure and these other ministries. What are your thoughts on these statements by the director?
Well, first of all, the director is a technician, and I have the greatest respect for his technical abilities. I have the greatest respect for his opinion, and I will never question what he says in that regard. But fact is, we need to take a serious look at the tourism industry. A serious look. When I became Minister of Tourism in 1997, I made the point that there must be a philosophical underpinning to the tourism industry, that tourism must benefit the majority of people. The benefits of tourism must accrue to the majority of people. Then there were people, particularly people in the United Workers' Party, who criticized me. What's happening now is you find a tourism industry that is becoming predominantly foreign owned. Now, I am very much for foreign FDI. I support for FDI. In fact, the Royalton Hotel came under our watch. Under our watch. The Harbour Club came under our watch. When the government got involved in saving the Hyatt Hotel, you know the story on that, which we don't want to go into now. But as a country, we have to take a serious look at whether our development path must be the construction of mega hotels on our beaches. We need to take, and that's a conversation that we need to have as a country, whether mega hotels, as the renderings that were shown on Sandy Beach, whether that is the development path that our country must take in the future. We need to look at it. And I'm not saying we should not, but I'm saying to you, as a country, we cannot just fall lock, stock, and barrel and believe that because the Prime Minister has some fanciful ideas, that these ideas must become reality, and these ideas are what we must follow. As a country, we must look at whether that development path of mega hotels, that development path that will sooner or later make our beaches a private place, although the Prime Minister said that public beaches must have public facilities. That was his definition of public beaches. But we need to look at it. So I'm saying all that to tell you that it's true we have a loud cry for jobs, which is very good. But there have been some successes for the local tourism industry. There's been the Bernard family with Le Sport, etc. There's been the Desta family with Big Gardens and Big Gardens Resort. There's been Obes Seraphim that is doing well. So the answer may not be all the time mega hotels built with our passports. The development that the Prime Minister speaks about, most of it is not investment with the word investment, similar to Ojo Labs. Ojo Labs brought in no foreign exchange. investment ought to be in foreign exchange. You understand? So when the Prime Minister speaks about this investment, it's not investors who are coming in St. Lucia with our money. These are people who are selling our passports to invest in our country. Their risk is minimal because really the money is not theirs. It's passport money, our passports that they're selling. So all I'm saying to you is that the Labour Party is saying that we're not against FDI, but we believe that the time is coming when the country must take a serious look at whether mega hotels owned by non-St. Lucians on our beaches are the only way for St. Lucia's development. And further, the Prime Minister speaks about agriculture, and the same Prime Minister is closing down Beauséjour meat processing facility, and he calls it a slaughterhouse. And that's a facility that would add value to agriculture. The Prime Minister, the same Prime Minister, speaks about agriculture, and he's closing down Beauséjour Agriculture Station, where there was money available to create the agricultural diversification that he's talking about. So I'm coming back to the speech, full of paradoxes.
And for the second part, you concerning technical vocational education, you said it should be a lot more specialized training in that, and you say that is what is really needed. Do you agree? And what is Labour's policy, the Labour Party's policy as it relates to CBQ and building a foundation for those type of areas?
First of all, we believe that every boy or girl should get a basic education. And that is why the Labour Party instituted a universal secondary education. And many people seem to have forgotten that. Also, universal primary school education. Many people seem to forget that it was the Labour Party that made it not mandatory, but caused universal primary school education. And again, the history of St. Lucia must be written in these terms. At some point, our children went to school for half the day, right? And it was the Labour Party that caused primary education and universal primary and universal secondary education. Now, so we believe that every child should get a basic education, every child, because there is nothing now as purely vocational education, because there use of computers, use of technology, etc. So every child must get a basic education. So we believe that when you've established that basic education, then children must be allowed to be able to diversify their education and go into the areas that they feel more comfortable with. And if the area is technical, yes. If the area is vocational, yes. If the area is academic, yes. But I do not believe that you should take children and say they are not academic, so then they mustn't get a basic education. I don't subscribe to that. But I believe that children ought to be able to have a choice, so they can specialize in the fields that they need to or that they want to. But again, here is the paradox. The government gave millions of dollars to Ojo Labs, and there are a number of young people who want to go into web designs, who want to go into graphic art, who want to go into music, who want to go to sound engineering, and they can't find the finances. But we found, and we've also paid the salaries of these people every month, and the Prime Minister lauds that as the best investment in the world.
In speech, Mr. President,